Before we get into this, just a very, very clear disclosure. I'm not talking about attraction with women in this video, because that is completely different to being in a relationship with a woman. There's obviously elements that cross over, but this is definitely not one of them. So, and I know that is obviously because most of my audience is guys in their 20s. They're thinking, well, what are you talking about? Dude, talk about how to get the pussy. How do I get the pink? Well, this will help you long term, alright? Sorry, there's... That's all you're thinking right now, isn't it? This isn't about pussy. That's it, I'm going on to Pornhub. That's about pussy. Come back to this after you've jizzed, alright? You've got to do something in between the 3 times that you can jizz and after that, the 4th one just being... snap my cock. And this is one of those things, because this will help you for the rest of your life, is associating the differences between how men and women interact. Because if you're able to understand that and have a more holistic approach, I'm guessing only good things can come of it. Maybe bad things can come of it. What can you think of that's bad for it? Keep it to yourself. I don't want to be proven wrong. So, this is the main thing that you need to understand about women. What a coincidence that I use the word understand. Women, and I'll be saying this in another video that's going to be titled exactly the same thing, but watch it anyway for the clicks. Come on. Help a brother out. The major difference between men and women in a relationship is that men are constantly looking for approval in the relationship and women are constantly looking to be understood. Now, there's obviously crossover with everything. These things, yes, women obviously enjoy being appreciated as much as men do. That's actually probably a better word. Men enjoy being appreciated. Women enjoy being understood. That's the key difference. Definition. So why women want to be understood goes back to cavewoman times, where they were the ones that were staying at the camps and they were the ones that were kicking berries and they were the ones who were communicating with each other, which is why when a woman is born they have pretty much 2 times as many neural connectors in their minds as men do that are based with interacting with people. When babies are born, men are constantly looking for action in the room. Whatever is moving in the room, you'll see a baby boy go, yeah! Straight to that. It's just straight coming out of the womb. The first thing they want to do is just be like, NASCAR, NASCAR. But a girl, the first thing that they look at is human faces, and they stare at it for ages, and that's what makes them light up. And then, when they get a little bit older, women start going, if you go to a baby girl, like, I don't know, in about 6 months or whatever, if you start going, they go, ah, then you go, But guys, and obviously there's variations on this, but in general, guys don't give a shit. All they care about is action. It's that Jordan Peterson thing of men like things, women like people. But, and this is what it comes down to in the relationship, the way that a woman feels connected with someone is when they bitch and whine and the person sits there and goes, I know, he's such a dick, isn't he? Yup, totally. Yes, I know, you're better than that, you're better than that. That's all they want to hear. Every time you ever see chicks out talking amongst each other, this is pretty much the conversation in sound form. It's just one chick going, and the other one's being like, That. What do guys want? And they will never say this. Guys will never ever say this. But they want appreciation. The reason that guys do things, the reason that they work so hard to accomplish, the reason why men's minds are set on a task, basically is for someone to go, that's awesome, nice job, good on you, Peter. That's all you want. You just want a nice kindergarten teacher in a relationship. And a woman just wants to have essentially her best friend in the relationship sit there and just go, it's not that bad, it's so bullshit. That's the difference. So when you're thinking about it, most arguments, this boils down into every other aspect of the relationship as well, but most arguments with a woman can be snapped off at the feet if you just sit there and listen to them whine. Now, obviously, if they're criticizing you, that's one of the 4 horsemen of a relationship ending. But if they're sitting there being like, you're a piece of shit, you're fucking, That's obviously because they don't respect you enough, and that's probably on them, not you. You are better than that, aren't you? I know, she's such a bitch. But most of the time, what a woman wants to hear, and the difference is that when they're in an argument, they try and argue on facts and who's right and who's wrong. Women argue pretty much to just get it out of their system. That's why you'll see it a lot in a lot of relationships with women. They will start arguments with the boyfriend over nothing. And the reason that they do that is to see that you still care about them enough to have the argument. It's fucking scary as a guy to hear that. But they do that a lot. And basically what they're doing is to see if you care enough to understand where they're coming from. That's it. So if you just sit there and listen to a woman while she's going, it's just not fair, I just can't believe it, I'm just so stressed at the moment. If you do that, afterwards, they will feel more connected to you. When you hear that as a guy, you think, yeah, that's kind of pathetic and lame and a bit icky. You're not into that. You just want pretty much Tony Robbins to be sitting there in your ear going, you're the best, you can achieve anything, you did it, all right, you took a shit, yes. That's what you want to hear as a guy. Women, obviously, they like compliments. Clearly, everybody in the world likes compliments. But what we're talking about here is what will you go after functionally. Now, the reason that women do this is because they have something called like a meta report. That's what they call it in relationship psychology. Which is that after, when a guy comes back, they just want to fill everybody out into the community on what happened that day to bring the community closer together. That is why women are obsessed with gossip, and when most guys, when they hear too much gossip, they go, all right, shut the fuck up. Unless it's about an affair, I'm not interested. Because all guys want is to just spend their entire life focusing on that deer and where it's moving, so they go, yes, right in the neck. If you just remember that one little piece of advice, it will stop, or at least it won't stop arguments, but it'll deviate them out. Because what guys do in most relationship arguments, and you can see it over and over again, is they do the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do in an argument with a woman. They sit there and they talk about why they're right. Women don't care about who's right and who's wrong. They just want to vent. Obviously, there's differences in that. You will find the occasional robotic woman that just goes illogical, but most of the time, what they want is to vent, and you just have to put up with it. I'll be talking about, in another video, what the difference is with men and women. On the other side of the scale, we're talking about peenies next time. How gross is... Sorry, can we all just agree this? Men and women alike. Can we just agree that that is a really disturbing way to depict a penis? Just this very scared elephant trunk. Now, just not even with arguments, but when they're talking about how happy they are, they just want you to sit there and listen to how happy they are. And after that, if you just listen to it for a certain amount of time, say 10 minutes normally, 10 to 15 minutes, after that, when all of that feeling is being shared and bestowed upon you, they're fine to just go back to what guys essentially want to do in a relationship, which is sit there and watch movies. Okay? Just remember that next time. And also with guy friends as well. If you want to get closer with a guy, this is the way that you do it. You just say, you're mad. You're amazing. Oh, really? So you like cars, do you? Wow, no other guy in the world likes that. And then they will feel closer to you. They like people that appreciate them. Women like people that understand them. See you with the other video that I'm going to be doing on the other flip side of it. It's just not a very well worded sentence. This is a one take. You're lucky that you get anything.